Hi Aries, welcome to your month ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share and hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, thank you so much for all of your support. It truly means the world. With that said, if you are not a part of my mailing list, you can find the link for joining that down below. And also, if you would like to get a daily tarot reading, inspirational message and a look at your numerology for the day, you can join the Reydiant Reflections group. There is a link for that in the description box below. I already have a few people in there that are having amazing results and comments and stuff from the things that are coming up. So it would be great to have you. Now, let's get to it. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless all of my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's see what the month ahead has in store for you. What does March 2019, March already, Aries, it is birthday season for you. So if you are celebrating, a happy birthday to you. Aries, your actions and your interactions with the world at large this month. Let's take a look. So you come up in a position of strength, which is brilliant because it suggests that you're really going to be getting back to your, to your heart of hearts, but also to what really pleases you. It feels like this is a powerful month for you, not just because it's birthday season, but also because you are rediscovering and redistributing your power in the right ways. It feels for me like you're reconnecting to yourself. And with the Strength card, it basically says that you're finding the courage to stand up and to speak out. Now, you're an Aries, you're always going to be outspoken. You're always going to say what you think, and anything that's on your, on your mind or in your heart is going to come straight out. But it feels for me like you're redefining that. It's almost like in some way, shape or form, you are letting people know, look, actually, you know what, I'm going to be doing this and I'm going to be stepping forward in this way. And it really feels for me like you're getting back to a much more authentic version of yourself. And we've seen this in the weekly readings, haven't we? Aries have gone through a period of being quite subdued, of kind of holding back from who they usually are. I feel like this month you're going to have a lot more fun, a lot more enjoyment, and you're going to get back to that creative side that you have. And let's not forget, you might not necessarily think of Aries as a creative type of person, but in order to do anything, you need that initiatory energy, right? So you are going to be utilizing that. And when you're getting back to your heart of hearts and speaking from a place of who you truly authentically are, ultimately you become more creative just by being that person. So let's have a look at your money and your materials this month. Let's take a look at what's going on. Oh, okay. A whole bunch of cards jumping out at me there, so let's have a look what's going on with your money and your materials this month. So you've got the Eight of Swords. It's not a great month for money, Aries, I have to be honest with you. That Eight of Swords is about constriction and confinement. You've got the Eight of Swords next to the Strength card, which is also number 8. So this month I urge you to wrap up. If you've got any bills that are outstanding, if you've got any debts that are outstanding, if you've got any money that is owed to you, this is the month to really, it feels for me like this is the month for you to tie all of this stuff up, because I feel like it's going to be relevant for you going forward. The Eight of Swords in your money and your materials is basically saying the restrictions will come from you not keeping your word, whether that is you making payments towards things that you've paid, that you've purchased, whether it is money that you said to somebody, look, I'm going to need that back, and you haven't come good on it. When you get 2 8s, this is about money, it's about power, it's about the power dynamics in relationships. And it feels for me like being more of your authentic self, you are going to be a bit more gung-ho about tying up loose ends, about looking after your health and your physical health more. For a lot of you as well, well, not for a lot of you, but for a select few of you, I'm feeling something around one of your shoulders. It's almost like it's the yeah, I'm feeling like a pull to the right shoulder. So if you have problems, because your money and materials isn't just about your finances, it's also about your physical health. The Strength card is also a card of your physical body, right next to the Eight of Swords. If you are the sort of or if you're a person that is suffering with shoulder pain, especially on the right shoulder, go and get it seen to. Go and get somebody to look at it, you know, because that's in terms of its physical attribute or its bodily function. Right, so your yeah, but in terms of your personal finances, this is a month to really get rid of any debts that you've got. It's a month for you to really wrap up any loose ends. If you are owed money, I would go for it this month. And you know, yeah, that's kind of what I feel for your money and your materials in that respect. So your communications with the world at large, this month you get the Eight of Cups, right? So your communications, it feels for me, so look at that, that's a triple hit of the 8 energy. Now this does change things just a little bit, and I'll talk about the numerology in a minute, because now like my spidey senses are on the fritz now. They're like, what's going on here? All right, so the eight of Cups in your communication sector is basically saying this month you are not going to be like, when people talk about Aries, they're like, oh, the warrior, people that like to fight or like to go in for whatever. I don't feel like you will be doing that. I really feel like you are stepping into a more authentic version of yourself. And Aries isn't just a soldier, it's also a general. And a general can also be very strategic, aside from just swinging and hacking a sword or going to war for something, right? So it feels for me like you will be very strategic in the way that you do things this month. And if you don't get the results or the answers that you want, you will walk away. It feels to me like for some of you, if you are asking for monies that you are owed to be returned, it's almost like if they're not returned, you'll just say, you know what, I'm going to cut my losses, but while I'm cutting my losses, I will also cut you. You know, not physically, but like cut you off in that way, because the Eight of Cups is about walking away from the disappointment. It feels for me like somebody is probably going to let you down this month when it comes to finances, but you know what, it's actually going to be a bit of a blessing in disguise, and I'll tell you why. You've got the Strength card, which is number 8. You've got the Eight of Swords, number 8. You've got the Eight of Cups, the number 8. When you get 3 8s together, you suddenly start to look at, actually there could possibly be some kind of windfall in here for you. There could possibly be some kind of real sort of fast change when it comes to money, when it comes to finance this month, you know, on a personal level. So maybe this is why you'll be able to just say, look, you know what, in that case, you keep what it is that you owe me, because it's in the knowledge, in the faith that the universe is going to give you something bigger just round the corner. This is a really interesting month, guys. Number 8 is also to do with karma, and because I don't subscribe to the idea of karma anymore. The more I've looked into it, the more I'm starting to understand that actually what is, you know, what we send out does make its way back to us, but it's through the process of congruency. So you will attract a lot of whatever it is that you put out. That doesn't necessarily feel for me like there's somebody, you know, out there in the sky saying, well, you did that to them, so that's going to happen to you. It's always relative to who you are and what your personal lifescape is, I believe. Yeah, but the 3 8s, this is about power dynamics, and it's about things making their way back to you. I feel like there's some kind of opportunity coming in here, Aries. And the feeling that I get from this is it's something that at the time you thought to yourself, oh, you know what, and we're talking probably about, if not in August last year, then it will have been quite some time ago. And it feels for me like almost like you, when this opportunity was presented to you, you were like, you know what, I'm probably not going to go for that. And then you realise that actually, crap, you know, that could have been a once in a lifetime opportunity that you thought would never come again. With these 3 8s, all bets are off. It kind of feels like there's going to be something that comes back into the fold, and it will be an opportunity for something. And I feel like this time you would be stupid to let it go. So, with that said, let's take a look at your heart and half. What's going on in your emotional sector with all of your partners, friends, family, all of that good stuff. So we've got the Knight of Swords, right? So it looks like lots of fast communication is taking place here. It also looks like there may be some heated emotional discussions this month. So just keep that in mind. If you are partnered, it feels like you guys really need to do something to shake things up a little bit. If you are single, this really is a month where you will probably go through the feeling of being like, you know what, I can't be with anybody at the moment because everybody just seems to fucking rub me the wrong way. But just keep an eye on that, because, you know, I feel like we've got the Mercury retrograde going on in Pisces, so we'll all be feeling this, and that will be your 12th house personally. So for some of you, it could be a blast from the past. However, I don't feel like this blast from the past is coming to you. I feel like you're taking the step backwards, Aries. I feel like you're getting in touch with a previous or an old partner, and you're kind of going to them and saying, look, you know what? I want to hash some things out. I want to talk about some stuff. Certainly very, very interesting in terms of the month itself. So let's have a look at your weeks. What are your weeks talking about? So the first week of March, you got the Star card right underneath the Strength card. You have blessings abundant. This first week of March is a really exciting time for you, actually. And the reason I say that is because the Strength card represents Leo, and the Star card represents Aquarius. So this means that you've got a really balanced week. The first week of March looks like a really great week, and it feels like you're going to have a lot of good communication from, you know, it's almost like there's somebody coming in here that's going to give you some kind of good news, and it will center around something that you've been wanting or longing for quite some time. It could also mean that an Aquarius person makes themselves known in some way, shape or form, or actually it feels like they more come to your rescue in some way, shape or form, which is kind of exciting. Let's see. So your second week of March, you've got the Strength card. Right, okay, so this is quite intriguing to me because the Strength card, again, number 8. The Star card is number 17. 1 and 7 gives you 8. This is a month of power, Aries. This is not a month for you to waste your energy. This is not a month for you to play small. This is not a month for you to hide in the shadows. You are getting back to who you are this month, and you are claiming and seeking your power in a very big and very dynamic way. There is some kind of good deed that you have done in the past is making its way back to you. When you see this much 8 energy, the fate, universe, whatever you want to call it, it's almost like I kind of feel like there's something big on the horizon for you guys, and it's in the material world. It could be something to do with a house, it could be something to do with a car, it could be something to do with finances or money. While your personal finances, you know, you're looking at wrapping up debts and tying up loose ends and stuff, you know, both ways of the scale, you know, monies that you owe or monies that are owed to you. With this much 8 energy, it really feels like there's some kind of financial windfall or abundance coming in this month. Really, really powerful. That Strength card underneath the 8 of Swords. Don't be afraid to speak your mind or call people out when it comes to things about money or materials. Third week of March, you've got the Temperance card underneath the 8 of Cups, which is really interesting as well, because the Temperance card is basically saying that while you are having all of these, you know, power dynamic shifts, these abundance pockets coming in here and there, you will also be going through some kind of profound spiritual shift. The third week of March could very well see you not just mulling over the past, but also it could very much see you reconnecting or realigning with some kind of understanding of your own spirituality. Really, really exciting. And with that 8 of Cups there, I kind of feel like some of you might have gone for a spiritual practice before and then you've kind of fallen off the wagon with it. And then this month you kind of pick it back up, and it, you know, it supports you or grounds you in some way. The fourth and final week of the month, you got the Justice card underneath the Knight of Swords. So I also have a young person here that it kind of feels like this young person is almost going off the rails, and I feel like this person's parent is going to reach out to you and say, look, you know what, I need some help, because you know, so and so is kind of going slightly off the rails. And the reason I say this is because the Justice card is about choice, it's about decisions. The Knight of Swords is also it's, you know, both these cards are swords cards, but they're both air cards, and sometimes, very rarely, but sometimes the knights represent young people and very often teenagers. So I feel like somebody's going to reach out to you this month and they're going to say, look, you know what, I'm having trouble with, you know, my son, my daughter, I don't really know what to do, and you know, they always seem to listen to you, so can you give them some, you know, tips, hints or whatever. But there'll definitely be somebody calling on you for that reason this month. And then finally, I'm going to see these two together as well. I kind of almost get this sense that there's a, I don't know, it's almost like you're juggling some kind of document, some kind of paperwork, or some, you know, possibly even of a spiritual nature. For some of you, this could really be you signing up to something that is, you know, almost like a course or a program, and it centers around spiritual or possibly even mediumistic things, because you've got a lot of that 8 energy there as well. Interesting. You'll have to let me know in the comments how it shapes up for you. So your key for the month is the 10 of Swords. You are not a plant. You can get up and move, Aries, and that is what you are being told. That 10 of Wands as your key to the month basically says that this is about movement. This is about movement of power, movement of money, movement of finances, movement of yourself, movement of your own energies. The only way you can ever be stuck anywhere is by choice, right? So now it's time for you to get up and to make things happen. And finally, that 10 of Wands also tells me that there may be things that you say this month that rub people the wrong way or upset them because they are not ready for the knowledge or the information that you will be delivering. However, it's still really, really important for you to deliver these messages regardless of how it makes people feel. Let me know how it shapes up for you in the comments. I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a great month, and I will see you very soon for more videos.